Hey folks, welcome to your Daily Dose of Duds. This is 11.6a, day 2. The lesson's going to be very similar to yesterday's. We're going to do the pink review, 2 U-tries, and 6 practice problems. Let's do this thing. Alright. See if you can find the area of these problems here. I think they're all areas. No, 2 area problems, and a circumference, and the sum of the interior angles. 5 minutes maximum on that. Let's see how you did. Well, this is the area of this one would be 3.14 times 5 times 5. That would be pi r it, and then you divide it by 2, you'd get 39.25 centimeters squared. This one here, you've got the circumference. If you're just talking about this area, which is truly the circumference, you take d pi, so here's the diameter times pi. You divide that by 2, you'd have 15.7. Now some people may have added this line here in, and if you add that line in to complete the shape, it would be 25.7. Alright, what's the circumference of the circle with a radius of 8? Well, d pi is our formula. Well, we take the diameter times 3.15, or 3.14. So the diameter is 16, because the radius is 8. So 16 times 3.14 looks like 50.24 units. Find the sum of the interior angles. There's 6 sides. Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You bet. 6 minus 2 is 4. Multiply it by 180. You got 720 degrees on the inside. And then find the area of this one here. This is kind of quirky. It looks like it's so incredibly hard, but wait a minute. What if I click here? Oops. Click here. Give me a second. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just bring it forward. Bring it to front. Really? It's a square with 2 half circles in it. So the square, I'm gonna send it to the back again so you know that you can see it. Send that guy to the back. All right, so this is 12 by 12. That gives me 144 in the middle. And then the circle, well, if this is 12, that means the radius is 6. So we take 3.14 times 6 times 6. That's 113.04. That would be for this half of the circle and this half of the circle. So I don't have to divide by 2. I got a whole circle. Add those 2 bad boys together. You have 257.04. All right. All right. Your first U-try problem today here. How would you go about finding the area of Texas here? Now, yes, you could count them, but I would challenge you, instead of trying to mark up your iPad screen, to see if you could take and use some large rectangles to figure that out. All right, here's how I did it. I did a pretty big one here. That would be 9 by 6, which would be 54. I know I've got some stuff that is empty here, but I'm going to fill it in because down here I'm just going to take, looks like 3 times 4, and that would be 12. And then a couple of 2 by 3s here, which would be 6. And I think those leftover parts pretty much fill in. So I had 6 plus 6 plus 54 plus 12 gives me a total of 78 units squared. All right. Next one. Try this one. See if you can find the area of this shape here. All right. Here's how I did it. I always do the easiest thing first. 12 times 16 gives me 192 there. 12 times 16 gives me 192 here. Now, this one here is 12, and this is 16. So it's 192, but it's a triangle, so I have to divide it by 2. So that gives me 96 for the triangle. And this here, this measurement here is 10. That's my radius. So if I pi r it, 3.14 times 10 times 10, I've got 314. I only have a half of a circle there, so I have to divide that by 2. I got 157. Add all those bad boys together, 637 units squared. All right. Well, here are the 6 practice problems today, and I know they look kind of tough. Break them into little shapes, and you can do this. So I'm going to show you them 2 at a time, and then I'll give you the answers. Here are the first 2. I made them larger so you could see them. For those of you scratching your head, I'd find the area of the rectangle, and I'd find the area of half of a circle, and I'd take and subtract it. Yeah, that's right, the rectangle minus a half circle. Little Timmy's boat. Looks like a couple of rectangles here. Here's a rectangle here. Here's a rectangle here. Here, this could be another rectangle here. It looks like it could be a square, and then there would be a triangle. All right, let's take a look at the next two. There we go. Looks like a couple of triangles here and here. This one looks like a triangle and a half of a circle. All right, two more. Like a square here. And you got a whole circle here and a whole circle here. So it looks like it's a square and two circles. This one here, I'm just going to throw a line in here because everybody struggles with this one just a touch. You can do this a number of ways. You can do it as a half circle and a trapezoid. And some kids even figure this out this way. They do it as a half circle, a triangle, and a rectangle. I do not do it that way. I do it as trapezoid. Remember the area trapezoid, the base of this is 10 because this is 5 and that's 5. Those are both radiuses. So 1/2 the height times base plus base, the area of the trapezoid. All right, here are your answers. Take a look at them and see how you did. And you can see I kind of divided them up for you there as well, the dotted lines. Kids, can't stress it enough. Go back, try these again. Now that you got the answers, work back. You need to figure out these problems because each day they're getting a little bit harder. All right, thanks for listening. Today, you'll take and upload your work for these 6 problems, and the U-Tries upload that to 11.6A2 practice. There'll be an assignment there. Thank you. That's worth 4 points in the quiz category.